Okay, let's mute this. And well, hello there, Tony.
Hello there, James.
Well, how are you doing today, Tony?
I'm doing just fine. It's a lovely day out.
I want you to speak into the microphone, Tony.
I'm trying. It's just my back is really hurting. But other than that, it's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. It's October 31st, 2017, in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States, on planet Earth, in the solar system, Milky Way galaxy, in our universe.
Yes.
I'm glad I summed that up for everybody. Good times.
Very, very, very good.
Would you like to try some of my chocolate sweaty balls?
Oh, I would love to have some of your chocolate sweaty balls.
Well, here they go.
Oh,
They're just delicious.
yes, a little salty, but very flavorful and savory.
My neighbor.
All right. How's everybody doing? This is James Henes, the Menace, with the Artist Reach Talk Show.
Here
And
with Tony T.
Tony T, representing the Artist Reach Network. Want to give a big shout out to everyone in the Artist Reach Network out of New York City. How y'all doing, people? Love you all. You're doing great things out there. And you're representing artists that need to be represented and getting publicity to those who don't ordinarily get publicity. So, Tony T, go ahead, take the reins, my friend.
So, as you know, I am Tony T, and I am the host of the Artist Reach podcast, and you're here, and James Henes is here with me from the RRA. It's good to see you again, my friend.
Thank you.
Well, the first question I want to ask is, how is the addition of Angus McDougall done? What has it done for the dynamic of the band?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Tony, because the addition of Angus McDougall in the past 4 months with the recording sessions, first off, he's brought a dynamic to the group, or us, whatever. We're a two-piece band, but he's brought a dynamic to us that cannot be duplicated with beat machines or drum loops. The man is a musician behind a drum kit. And when I say he's a musician behind a drum kit, he's not a drummer behind a drum kit. He's a musician behind a drum kit. And he's my brother, and he's an empath psychic, and I love him.
That's very sweet. So, you got a few songs to play for us today, don't you?
Yeah, I've got an example for our first queued up song that really shows off Adam's chops as a drummer. And interesting side note, right after we recorded this at the studio, the sound studio, we were outside the sound studio, we heard gunfire. Pop, 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 pop. And Adam yells, "Get down, they're shooting." And I walked towards the gunfire.
Why the fuck would you walk towards the gunfire? Seriously.
I really don't know why I did it, but I did do it. And I'm very curious as to why I walked towards the gunfire. Perhaps I was looking to get shot. Well, anyway, enough talk. Let's walk the walk with one of our recent recordings from the RRA. This will be performed live at Bailey Doyle one of these days. This is Rich and Famous, everybody. Hey, we are back. The Artist Reach Talk Show is back. How are you doing in Canada, everybody? How you doing in London, England? Ooh. How you doing in Paris of France? How you doing in Australia, people?
How you doing in Romania?
Romania. Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, well, it is Halloween, so why don't we just put that out there,
Yeah.
Oh,
It is
vampires.
Halloween. And I want all my trick-or-treaters to be good and not vandalize the homes unless it's totally necessary.
Well, the listeners right now are getting a great little treat with all these songs that we're playing right now. So I'm just wondering, what was the thought process for Almost Famous? Like, how did you come up with the lyrics of that song?
Well, I'll tell you, Tony, I was at the sound studio and we were rehearsing and I came up with the riff and I thought, REM did a song where he's like, that's me in the spotlight, losing my religion.
Yeah, that's a
And
great
I remember
song.
Michael Stipe during an interview said, I said in my song, that's me in the spotlight. And then, from then on, that's how it was. And I thought, well, I kind of want that spotlight. So why not write a song about being rich and famous?
This is very true.
And if I become rich and famous, I do not want paparazzi. I do not want people prying into my childhood or my early 20s or my past, whatever. I don't want books written about all that bullshit or my relationship with Kelly Marlene or my relationship with Hope or whatever. I just want the music to be famous, but I know it's kind of a package deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's very double-edged sword, if you ask me. It seems like, hey, it'd be nice to be famous, yes, but with that you hold a lot of burdens with it, and not everyone can handle that. Do you think you'll be able to handle that kind of pressure?
I've never been concerned about pressure when it comes to fame. And it's funny because I mentioned fame in this next song that we're about to play. I say maybe it's fame or something else. I can't blame anybody but myself. And I suppose what I'm saying is it's a package deal. Given my heart condition, God willing, I'll see my music become famous, incredibly famous. And I'll get to go on Bill Maher and play Jimmy Kimmel and Saturday Night Live and all that shit, and I think I'll handle it just right. I think Angus McDougall will as well. National tour, European tour, global tour, whatever. We can handle it. It's just the paparazzi and some of the fan mail we get currently is a little weird. I'm not comfortable with being called a genius, but I do appreciate people who recognize the depths of my creativity. So it's a double-edged sword. It's like I want the affection, but I don't.
Right.
And with that being said, I want to set up this song, Tony. Can I set up this song?
Why not?
All right. Yeah. You have any questions about this song? It's called In the In-Between, I Almost Died.
Oh, and I have heard this song quite a bit, and it is a beautiful song. But there are a few questions I want to ask, like the arrangements that you put into the song. How did that just come about? You just played on the computer, or you just really thought like every melody, each note needs to be here?
Oh, I placed all the notes in that in the in-between. I'm responsible for every placement of every note and every lingering slide and hold on sustain with a note. It's orchestra strings playing octave shifts in the key of G major. And was a little outside of my comfort zone as far as what I ordinarily do. And that's why it got the attention of Wolf Rage Records and all these people. And the song is about, well, what happened was I have a heart condition, and I was in the ICU for 5 days because my blood pressure was 220 over 190 or some shit like that.
Jesus Christ.
And they took me down to the ICU at 1 in the morning. They said, we're taking you to the ICU. We can't stabilize your blood pressure. And then they told me that my heart is enlarged. And you know me. I suffer from mania. You've seen me go through it and
very much so
deal with it. And thank you for being a good friend, by the way. And
hey, it's what I'm supposed to do. You know, I feel like I see someone in need, I immediately try to help them.
Thanks, man. But bringing up the mania increases blood pressure. Blood pressure increases the size of my heart. It's like a deadly cycle that I can't get out of. And so when I was released from the hospital after 5 days in the ICU and 1 day in the regular hospital, I felt so free, man. And I was very manic, and I came home and I set up the orchestra strings on the MIDI instruments, and I did the musical arrangements for the song, and then the lyrics, I think, were Johnny on the spot. I think I just kind of went with, they weren't premeditated, but they were, you know what I mean? Like, they were coming from my soul, my heart, you know. Anyway, if there is such a thing. This is In the In-Between, I Almost Died.